Okay. Okay. Am I really about to tell this story? I'm really about to tell this story. What's up, Cherishing Flow fam? Welcome back to my channel where we're all about love, positivity, self-development, being a girl boss, and everything in that vicinity. In today's video, we are going to be doing another Sunday story time. We're going to be telling a pretty interesting story that I never actually intended on telling. I intended to take it to the grave, not because it's like some super, I know you guys are probably going to think it's like super duper deep. It's really not, but it kind of is, because it was probably one of the most hurtful situations for me that I've ever had in my life. And I was hesitant to tell the story because the person involved in this story, you guys haven't heard a story about him so far, and me and him are still friends, and I love him dearly, and I wouldn't want to say anything to bash him or talk negatively about him, but this is a story that did happen. I don't ever use your name. I'm not sure if he watches my videos. I do know that some other people that know him watch my videos, so that's one of the other reasons that I didn't want to tell the story. But I'm going to try my best to be as vague as far as identifiable details as possible. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If it's your first time here, then go ahead, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you do not miss any future girl boss videos or anything like that. If it is not your first time here, then thank you for being here. Thank you for loving me as much as I love you. Go ahead and give this video a bunch of big thumbs up, and yeah, let's get into this video. So I'm gonna try to hurry up through this because my camera is telling me that it's about to die. I don't know why. I haven't used it in forever. But okay, so I don't know how to tell the story. We're gonna call this guy Gregory. I don't know why I want to call him Gregory. That was the first name that came to my mind when I decided to do the story, so his name is going to be Gregory. He and I started dating, what was it, middle school, like 8th grade. I was 14 when I first started dating him, and we first got together and everything like that. We were really good friends, and then just led into more. We had a really good relationship. You know, we were like an on and off couple because I was really immature, and if we ever got into an argument, one of us would break up with the other, something stupid like that. But the situation at hand, we went from 8th grade, freshman year, on and off. Sophomore year, I moved up north, and I broke up with him because of that, because I didn't want to do long distance. We were in high school. I figured, you know, it wouldn't work. But even though I moved, we were still in constant communication. We never stopped acting as if we were dating. We were still telling each other that we loved each other. We were still telling each other that we meant the world to each other, that we wanted to get married one day, you know, high school. So basically, I think this happened around November. Like I said, since I had moved up north, we had still been communicating, still saying I love you, still flirting, talking about how much we want to be together, yada, yada, yada. On Facebook, his relationship status changed to in a relationship with a girl. Let's call her Marlene. We'll call her Marlene. Said he was in a relationship with somebody named Marlene, and I was confused, and I was like, so I messaged him, and I was like, you're in a relationship with Marlene? And I went to Marlene's profile. I recognized her face. I guess we went to school together, but I didn't know her. I knew I had never talked to her before. So I was like, you're dating Marlene? And Gregory goes, yeah, we've been dating for a couple months. Now, this was sophomore year in high school, so we had been on and off for probably like 2 years at this point. And that really hurt me. Like, when I found out that he was dating somebody, and it wasn't just that he was dating somebody, it was that he was dating somebody, talking to me the way that he was talking to me, and he didn't tell me that he was dating somebody. That really hurt my feelings, y'all. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna front. I didn't know anything about this girl. I didn't know they were dating. I was really pissed off. So I went off on him. I'm snapping, and then he says, you know, he's still in love with me. He's gonna break up with her. These are things that he's telling me. He's telling me that he's staying with her because he doesn't want to hurt her feelings, because she's insecure. She has low self-esteem, but his heart is always with me. So on and so forth, blase, blase, blase. Now, I'm going on thinking, okay, I don't want him to hurt this girl's feelings, because, you know, she seemed kind of like she would be insecure or whatever. And I was kind of like, okay, so when are you going to break up with her? He kept saying, oh, I'm going to break up with her. So this is a me and him thing. We're still talking. We're still flirting. We're still telling each other that we love each other. And he's still dating this girl. And I became stupid where I was the other woman, and I was wrong for that. Looking back, I should never have continued to even communicate with him, because that was, to me, like a show of your character. Because even if what he was saying was true, which to be honest, I'm really not sure if I believe it was or if it wasn't, but you should have been upfront with me, and you should have been upfront with her. There shouldn't have been lies and secrets and things like that. I'm not saying anything. A few months go by, he hasn't broken up with her. So I slid into her messages on Facebook myself, and I said, hi, I know that you're with him, but I'm still in love with him. We're still in communication, blase, blase, blase. I didn't tell her the details. I didn't tell her anything like that. I just said, I'm still in love with him, and he's still communicating with me. I didn't tell her that he was telling me he loved me back or anything like that, because I didn't really want to out him, but I wanted to kind of stir the pot to like give him the opportunity to tell her that he was still in love with me. And that was wrong too. I don't know what I was thinking about. I was really young at the time. You know, I was like 15, 16. I was just on some stupid stuff. And I just really just wanted him to break up with her. And by this time, it was like, I think it was like around December or maybe even January. I think it was, I don't really know. I think it was like around that time when it might have been all the way in March. This lasted, you guys, from November when I found out until April or May the next year. That is how long I waited for him to break up with her. So then I moved back down to where we lived, and he was still with her then. And, or I don't know, maybe I was back down for a spring break or something, and me and him saw each other. He kisses me, he's like all over me the same way it was before I moved, all that blase blase stuff. But then, and at that time, I'm thinking he must have broken up with her because of how he's acting with me. Come to find out, he hasn't broken up with her, and now her and all of her friends are talking about me on social media, and I'm being out to make the ex that won't let go. Basically, that's what I'm being made out to be. And I wasn't really sure if that was because he was telling her that, or if he was telling her that I was crazy, or if he was telling her that, you know, all this other foolishness. Eventually, I got off stupid, and I just simply said to him, I'm done with you. I don't want to do this anymore. We're through. Since you can't seem to break up with her, I feel like you're lying now. You don't want to break up with her. You're just trying to string me along so that I don't go anywhere. And that same day, he broke up with her. The same day that I said this to him. Via text message. I was in town at the time. I think I was back for good at this time, like in April or May. I may get my timeline a little bit off because this is a long time ago, and this whole business is something that I've completely moved on from. Timeline may be off, but the details of what happened aren't. So they broke up with me and got back together. There was still like drama, people saying that I took him from her, or people saying that I seduced. There was a whole bunch of stuff that went around that people were saying that was going on. I was like the ex that never let him go and crazy stuff like that. And the thing was, like, even though that in a way that was true, I never did let him go. I held on to him. I held on to that relationship for a really long time. But also at the same time, he was holding on to me just as hard. Like, it wasn't like I was some conniving, manipulative person. It was like literally like both of us were doing the same thing, except I wasn't being dishonest. We broke up later on that year, like in December. Early December, like, because it was one of my other friends' birthday. And that was when I was kind of like done for good. It really had nothing to do with the whole other woman thing or the drama. It was more because he wasn't doing what he needed to do to spend time with me. Like, he had a license, he had a car, I lived in the same city as him, and we never really saw each other, and I was like, there's no excuse for that. And he and the night that I broke up with him, he had planned to meet me someplace, and then he didn't meet me, and he ditched me, and I broke up with him right after that. So basically, that's pretty much how we broke up for good. But then after this situation, this is the part that I wasn't really sure that I wanted to share, but I decided I'm gonna go ahead and share my story, you know, tell the story to you guys, give you guys the tea. Not long after that, the next year, I ended up dating somebody else. Not the next year, a couple years later, like a year and a half later, I ended up dating somebody else. Now, all in all, we had dated on and off for 3.5 years. That's why I said the timeline was probably off. Basically, the next year, he started dating my friend, the friend that I told you about that was her birthday when we broke up. They started dating. I pushed this to happen. This was like, no, her backstabbing me. I know a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people had their issues, but I was way past him at this point in my life, and he wasn't even a thought for me anymore, and I was completely moved on, and she was my best friend, and I thought that they meshed well together. I thought that they fit more than me and him fit even. So I had no problem with it. Some of the people who were my friends had problems with it, but I was the one, she wasn't going to do it until I told her to go ahead. Like, she didn't even tell me that she liked him, anything, but I saw it. I saw that there was something there. Somebody else told me there was something there, and that she just wasn't going to go through with it because of me. And I was like, look, if this could be your happiness, please find it. That's how I look at things. If I don't care about him anymore, for a lot of my exes, it was just kind of like, girl, do you, be great, please be happy. Like, please do not be happy just because you're trying to save my feelings. I know a lot of people don't think that way. That's fine. That's your business. But they ended up dating. And I wasn't upset about it at first until me and him, her, and my boyfriend at the time hung out together. And him and her were kissing. And I was fine with it. Like, I know that, like, the reaction was just like, ew, like, you didn't like to see them kiss. It wasn't that. It was the fact that when they were kissing, I'm just sitting there. I was like, oh, look at them. And then he looks at me while he's kissing her and he winks. And I was like, I was so agitated. I was like, why would you, what was that about? Like, what was that supposed to, like, why would you do that? Like, ew. And after the fact, like, I didn't say anything. I was like, I kind of just like made a face and then like went on to my date or whatever. And later on I talked to my date about it because I remember being like, yo, did you see him winking me? He's like, yeah, I thought I did. Because I thought I was tripping. I said, nah, nigga, that nigga winked at me. And later on, during their relationship, me and him were talking and we were having an argument about something. And he says to me, this is why all of this relates into the story. He says to me that he never let go of the fact that I got in between him and Marlene. And I was like, what do you mean you never got over that? When I sent her that message that I mentioned earlier, he said that caused issues in their relationship and he really cared for her and he really liked her and yada yada yada. And I think when he told me that, he had forgotten how much he had lied to me. He completely negated the fact that he was telling me that he loved me the whole time, that he was talking to me the whole time, that he was telling me that she was insecure and that he only didn't break up with her because of this, that, and the other. And when he said that to me, like, it was like I went back to that place and I was just mad all over again. I was like, so you was feeling her, you liked her, all of that blase, but you was feeding me that nonsense about how she was insecure and you didn't want to break up with her because you didn't want to hurt her feelings, right? Right? So the story and the narrative that he was telling everybody else was that I was getting in the way of their relationship and that I was putting myself in the middle and that I was starting stuff. I was starting stuff, but it wasn't like I was starting stuff for no reason. He was feeding me stuff in my ear the whole time they were dating. You're making it out to seem like I'm the crazy one, when in actuality you were feeding all of my foolishness. So it wasn't like I just made it up or whatever. I hope the lighting's okay because this looks like it's about to storm outside or whatever. That's really what we on, and it pissed me off, ain't gonna lie. So I was really mad. So we're arguing back and forth. So then I was like, okay, what was up with that wink that you did with old girl the other day? His exact words to me were, honestly, Ricky, when I first dated her, it was to piss you off, to make you jealous, to make you mad because you broke up with me and I didn't like the way you did it. When he said that, I did not tell the girl who this, I probably have to tell her before I post this video because I don't want her to see this and this be a surprise to her. But I didn't tell the girl because she's still one of my closest friends in the whole world. So I didn't tell her what he said to me because I didn't want to hurt her and I knew she really was feeling him. And he did tell me, like, later on, he said that's what it started as, but then he really fell in love with her, you know, like he really fell in love with her. And I knew they were a better fit for each other, so I wasn't surprised that he really did fall in love with her, but I was surprised that he started dating because she was my best friend. I still consider her one of my best friends, but at the time she was like my only best friend. Like she was like my best friend. And I was like, so you really dated her to hurt me? I was like, the gag was, though, you didn't hurt me. Like, he was the one who told me originally, like from the very jump, that they liked each other. And he was like, but she won't date me because of you. And I remember when he said that to me, he said it with a whole lot of hostility. Like, he was always talking about nobody wants to date me because you're my ex and blase, and nobody wants to start beef with you or just foolishness. And I was just like, okay, I can't help what these other females is doing. I ain't got nothing to do with that. It's really getting dark in here. I'm sorry, y'all. I took that to heart. I was frustrated for myself, for my friend, and I didn't take it well. I was really frustrated. I was really agitated. I felt like the situation did not call for all that. And although I understood why he was upset about how I broke up with him, but in all fairness, I broke up with him after giving him multiple chances. And the day that I broke up with him, I told him, if you do not show up to this party after ditching me and not doing what you say you're going to do over and over again, I promise you that we're going to break up. I don't know if he thought I was playing, but he chose to do something else instead of coming and spending time with me after he hadn't seen me in months. And at that point, I was just like, I don't have the energy for this relationship because I'm giving my all into it and you can't even put in a little bit of effort. And at the end of the day, even though like he may not have liked it, at the same time, the same reason me and him broke up ended up being the same reason him and old girl broke up, because he was so stuck into his comfort zone that he wouldn't so much as leave his house or do something a little bit out of his way for the sake of the person he was in a relationship with. And that was like the big problem at the end of the day. All my light is leaving, y'all. I apologize. I probably look, I don't know what I look like right now. Hopefully y'all can still see me enough. Please let them see me enough. So that's pretty much the story. After that, you know, they dated for like 2.5 years or something like that. After that, they were together for a while. They had a really good relationship for a while, but then, like I said, the same problem started happening with her, where she wanted his support, where she wanted him to leave his house and come support her or come see her and do this, that, and the other, and he wouldn't. So that caused them their relationship. That's my baby girl at the end of the day. And even though he started with her, he did end up falling in love with her, and I do believe that his love for her was genuine. And I do believe he fell for her kind of quickly. Like, I believe, you know, it started maybe like the first couple weeks or few weeks as, oh, he's just gonna get back at me, but then he really started to feel her. So that's pretty much the story of how I was the other woman. Again, I really wish that I had made better decisions in the situation, but I really learned a lesson that day. And even though it was really hard for me to like completely let him go, I completely let him go by the time he was dating her, but it took me a minute after me and him broke up. I was really heartbroken. I was really hurt. I cried. I was going through. I had like a season of depression. Let me try to get closer. I had like a season of depression, but you know, I'm better now. You know, your girl done moved on. Your girl's doing big things in life. She's doing better and everything and all that blase woo woo woo. But you know, that was an experience, you guys. That was a serious experience because that was like one of my first long-term real life relationships. Even though like we were young, but trust me, our relationship was real AF. Like, we had a real, more genuine relationship than some adults. And that's me saying that as somebody who is 23 years old in a committed relationship. Even now, I still feel like he was one of my most committed relationships, like one of the people I was most dedicated to. If you are a lady out there, please do not make the same mistake. Do not, if a dude is with another girl, just let him go. It's not worth the trouble. It doesn't matter how much you love him. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go before this lighting gets any worse. If you're new to this channel, then go ahead and subscribe. Like I said earlier, turn on your notification bell. If you guys are not subscribed to my couples channel, then go ahead and subscribe to my couples channel. And yeah, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Just comment, spam the comments. Everything y'all thinking, everything y'all feeling, all of that. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.